A little throwback for you on your Friday morning. We are glad you're up with us on 13 Sunrise. Maybe you want to find some last minute plans, or you're already planning to hit this. One of the biggest bands of the 2000s is making a stop in Indy. The Fray is taking the stage at Everwise Amphitheater at White River State Park. That is a 7 p.m. concert tonight, so if you've got tickets, I'm sure you're up this morning playing your playlist early.
Yes, or waiting for the forecast from Sean Ash. That's maybe the way to do it. Welcome in here at 6 o'clock on your Friday. We're glad you're with us. I'm Julia, along with Julia and Sean Ash here this morning. We do have a forecast for exactly that forecast.
Dusted that bad boy off.
Okay.
Yeah, warm, typical July, warm, humid. A chance of a shower storm. So
we get that though.
Yeah, it's pretty much almost every summer day for us.
If you pay for the tickets, you're going anyway.
You're going to go, baby.
Yes.
You are going to go. So yeah, if you're heading down, enjoy, have a good time. It's one of so many events going on downtown. Hey, don't forget to, by the way, if you're going to the show, the Indians have a home game. So going to be a little congested in downtown tonight. Plan accordingly. I would leave super early to get there on time so you're not rushed. As you look toward the skyline, you know, around this time yesterday, we were starting to see the fog spreading in from the west. We do have a canopy of cloud cover that may prevent that from happening. We'll call it patchy fog this morning. We're going to start out with this cloud cover. A lot of clouds, not a whole lot of rain. We did have a few showers while you were sleeping there from Bloomington near Columbus, still a few raindrops. And then right now, we just got Greencastle less than 2 miles. Everybody else is about 9 to 10 mile on the visibility. Did we ever miss out on this big boy here? Look at this. This is flash flood rain across parts of Missouri, Illinois, and Kentucky. That may be the path for another one. Certainly that's where the most severe weather will be for today in our region. We're going to talk about highs in the middle and upper 80s this afternoon. And with that heating, what we expect is some spotty showers and thunderstorms. Not everyone will get them. Unfortunately, some folks will. It's going to be late. We're talking after 5 or 6 p.m. I'll have the rest of your weekend and 7 day ahead at 6:02 here on a Friday morning. So far, so good. It's been pretty smooth sailing for us here. We've got you downtown I-65 at MLK looking east there. And speaking of looking east, one more camera stop. You can see that canopy of clouds that we have. This is 465 on the northwest side near Michigan Road. We're looking good. Well, let's let you know if that changes. Stay with us.
Thank you, Shauna. We do want to show you this, a developing story this morning out of Zionsville. A fire has caused heavy damage to a building downtown early this morning. These are pictures posted by the Zionsville Fire Department. They're called here to South Main Street, also known as the Village, if you're familiar with that area. Around 1:40, they arrived. A large fire and flames were coming from the building. Now, crews did have it under control in about 15 minutes. That building was empty and no one was injured, but investigators are working to figure out the cause. That, of course, is right downtown in the heart of all those businesses and everything, so we'll keep you updated as soon as we learn any more.
All right. Well, if you have to fill up this morning, it is nice to see lower prices here in central Indiana than the rest of the country.
Yeah, it really is. The gas tax suspension the last few months has been a relief, but now we're counting the cost the tax holiday comes with. Anna Chalker is live this morning with just how much the State Department could be losing at our win. This is not great for future projects, it sounds like.
That's right, ladies. And right now with this suspension, we're saving about 61 cents per gallon. So that sounds pretty good for us. But like you said, on the other side of that, the road projects and some of our state departments, they probably don't like that as much. And that's because our gas tax is what funds a lot of our road work. So the suspension these last few months has created a combined loss of $533 million. That's according to our partners with the Indiana Capital Chronicle. For INDOT alone, that's a projected $358 million loss. And Governor Mike Braun says there is nothing to worry about with this because budget reserves and economic growth will help make up for the lost funds.
They'll be replenished 100%. We've already started the process. State accounts will be as well, for one reason. The state is generating, like most other states would love to see, savings on its operations and revenues. We got the hottest economy in the Midwest.
INDOT is sharing a statement with us on this loss as well, saying they have the funds to cover all lost revenue from past and current emergency tax holidays without impact on current or planned projects and operations. Now, this suspension is expected to last until about August 6th, and it is the last one that Governor Braun could call up before he's got to talk to lawmakers about a special session. And we did ask him about that, what that could look like as we're heading into August and into September. We'll share his response for you coming up.
Yeah, especially with prices creeping back up this morning. It'd be interesting to see how this pans out. Thank you, Anna.
Well, last week, we know Governor Braun announced those plans to pay back local governments for the money they've been losing because of the gas tax. Now, they did receive about 1/3 of the revenue generated. Indianapolis Public Works told us that it estimates it lost about $7.8 million between April and June. The governor also telling us that he will request to transfer money from the state highway fund to the Board of Finances on July 21st. Then payments would go out to local governments following that.
Developing this morning, a man was killed in a shooting on Indy South Side.
So we brought you the story as breaking news last night when we learned about it. Metro Police say it happened after 10:30 last night on Henslow Lane, and that's near Raymond and Shelby Street.
Police first responded to a scene in an apartment complex parking lot, but then police found that man with gunshot wounds inside of a car in the woods nearby. He was in critical condition when they got there, but he later died at the scene. IMPD told our crew there that they believe this started as a disturbance and they are calling this an isolated incident. Once we learn more information, we can share that with you on air and online.
Well, in the courtroom today, the man charged with killing Elwood police officer Noah Chavez is back in the courtroom for a status hearing. Last month, Carl Board's death penalty trial was delayed until next February after he was ruled incompetent to stand trial. Well, Board has been undergoing treatment at the state mental hospital in Logansport. Police say Board shot Officer Chavez during a traffic stop in 2022. Investigators say Boards fired 36 shots through the window while the officer was still in his car. The hearing gets underway at 1. We will have a crew there and bring you the very latest later today.
Another update from the courtroom happening today. The man accused of stalking Fever Guard Sophie Cunningham will be there for a bond review hearing.
So 49-year-old Kevin Singh is now facing charges of stalking, intimidation, and harassment. Court documents reveal Singh made graphic and explicit comments and social media posts directed towards the Fever star. They also say he hand-delivered a package to Cunningham at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. That hearing is set for 10 o'clock.
An update here, the developer behind plans for a controversial data center is responding to its plans to downsize that project.
So Atlanta-based DC Blocks wants to build that center in the Irvington neighborhood and has really been rallying for months to do that. So the company just announced that it will remove a building from the original design, also eliminate 25 backup generators, as well as increase dedicated green space on campus. Now, the Metropolitan Development Commission is set to take up that proposal on Wednesday.
Well, DC Blocks did release a statement on those changes saying, quote, "We are excited to announce our optimized site plan to scale back the project's total footprint, reduce overall equipment, and minimize utility demand. We took this proactive step to address the community feedback regarding neighborhood density, utility capacity, and the visual impact while maintaining the $2 billion economic and tax base investment for the community."
Well, 13 News did ask the governor about the latest with the Indiana Bears. No, I'm just kidding, the Chicago Bears.
If you just keep saying that, eventually it'll happen. We know you remember this. The team's board of directors voted to move forward with the plans for a $5 billion stadium in Northwest Indiana. But Illinois is not giving up easily. The Bears still have a lot of options for their next potential home, from the city of Chicago to suburbs in Illinois, and then here in Hammond, Indiana, and a couple more. Braun tells us the state is still being aggressive in trying to bring the team here to Indiana.
The mayor, Tom McDermott from Hammond, has done a really good job. We both moved at the speed of business. I think that impressed them out of the gate, and that's why we're kind of in the red zone, where a lot of due diligence is being done on the final things you need to do before you actually formalize the deal.
Now, Governor Braun also says he is using some of the football lingo to play it all out for you. The red zone, he says, means the state is close to getting the deal across the line. Right now, a final site and construction timeline have not yet been decided on.